Welcome back to my starting over series. In this episode I will be doing some docking. This is about my fourth attempt at this episode. I know I sort of said I was going to post my efforts, warts and all, but considering this one's been so tedious, I'm not going to do that. Again, if I have trouble, I think I'll just edit it down. I think I've eliminated most of the trouble that I was having. It was like a sort of a series of unfortunate events prevented me from docking successfully. So hopefully all that's fixed up now. Just go through this rocket design. It's not all that special really. The booster stage is not balanced correctly. We've got the center of lift way too high, but there's so much. That's why I put even with the fins on it. But there's so much steering in that engine there. Probably it doesn't seem to matter all that much, so I haven't worried about it too much. It's just a boost stage to get this upper stage into orbit, which is probably more important. Because it's smaller, I did take a lot of actually, let's get rid of that one. Put it back, okay, I did put a lot more effort into balancing the upper stage. You can see the center of lift is way below the center of mass. Just to give myself some room to it doesn't have to be very powerful. So it's only a small lander engine in there. I've put in a science bay there. I'll see if I can use it just to collect some science, because I'm a bit short on parts at the moment. I'm starting to feel it already. Parachutes there, the heat shield. The only interesting thing really, or two interesting things, is because docking, you want thrusters basically. You can try to dock using your main engine, but unless you're pretty good or it's a big craft, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Anyway, the important thing is to have translation control, and that's what the RCS thrusters are used for. And they use monopropellant, so I've added plenty of what I hope is plenty of monopropellant there. Now this is crucial. So just listen carefully, and you'll avoid yourself a lot of drama. When you place your thrusters, try to place them like that. Have at least 4, and put them at 90 degrees angles to each other. And also in this direction, align them in your center of mass, which is this big yellow ball. And that'll get you a long way there. That may not even be perfect. The reason being, if you think about it, they thrust. They're designed to thrust in what would you call it? I guess you'd call it in three dimensions. So you know, you're gonna go left and right, up and down, and forwards and backwards. That's just think of the vector coming out of the screen back towards the player for that one. And I'll show you the gauge later, but that's fairly important. And that's obviously if you put those at what it thinks is the wrong angle, it'll try to compensate, but it'll only sort of half do the job. I'm a little bit hazy about this. I can't find any really good documentation at all, but I think it's what caused me a lot of the trouble. It was just not the commands I was typing in on the keyboard to thrust up and down, left and right and forward and backward were just not being translated correctly into the thrusters. So anyway, stick with the simple configuration, and I think you will be okay. And of course, you know, let's always be able to I was just going to destroy the craft up there, but then I thought, well, if he's got some science or something. Oh, actually, I've even forgotten something. Oh God, it just shows you how absent-minded I can get. I forgot the batteries. Whoops. And I'll put those on right now before I forget again. You just need. Let's just make it. Yeah, that'll do. It didn't change the balance at all, and also communications. Just so if we get stuck, we can still transmit stuff back. Okay, they're not real critical. The other bits are. So we'll just put that back together. Save it again because I'm always forgetting to save. Always check your staging. Yeah, it looks pretty damn good. That one's a bit. Yeah, no, that's wrong. Hang on. I don't know how that went. Oh, something's obviously when I was. See, I say check my staging, and I check my staging, I'll find an error. Well, there you go. Yeah, you didn't want your parachute to go off prematurely. It may not have hurt, but you know you want things to happen the way you think they're going to happen. So okay, we've got the main engine start, then we got the upper stage separation, and then I usually put them in separate ones. I just like there to be a tiny delay between. You can put them in the same stage if you want to, but I tend to separate them. Just have a slight delay between your what do they call that bloody thing? The separatron, separator. No, separator. Sorry, I was thinking of a stack separator as well. I just want it firing and the separator firing first in the engine. So that way, and that yeah, it's just that's to separate the capsule to expose the heat shield. Okay, just save that. We'll go to launch. We're going to be launching two crafts too. I tried to do something fancy. I tried to launch two at once, and I actually made a little video on my attempts. I couldn't quite get it to work the way I wanted. So let's not bother. Let's not bother. It was starting to detract from. I was putting so much effort into it, and I thought, well, what's my objective here? Launching two rockets simultaneously, or demonstrating docking. You know what I mean? Sometimes you've got to. There's some wreckage out there. You've got to consider what your priorities are. Yeah. Oh, actually, let's just clean that other one up. It's just going to distract me. Leave that one there in the sunlight. It's got a command core in it, you see. Okay, let's just recover it. Oh. Alright, well, whatever. I won't, oh, it's saying 0. No, it didn't actually work. Okay, Jeb's off the hook. Actually, I just, that's the trouble. I've been trying to make too many changes simultaneously. I'm breaking my own rules there. What was it? Launch. Just change that to. I think I made it 15. Let's just change it to 10. 15 is too long. Just a 10-second countdown. I didn't bother parameterizing it. I had it reduced to 5 seconds during my testing cycle. Just sped everything up a little bit. Okay. run. I'm aiming for 100k orbit. I was trying a 80k orbit, and I actually accidentally deorbited a spaceship during docking. So I'll give myself lots of margin for error this time. Okay, we'll just make it pretty. Go. Oh, we can do this if you like. It's even prettier. I'll get it. I'll get a screenshot. There you go. It's a bit better without all that clutter, don't you think? Some pretty smoke trails. Got to make it look pretty. Got to entertain people. I should have been timing this too, but it's all right. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's got that occasional lag. It's always been there. I don't know what it is. It's like it's swapping a bit of stuff out to virtual memory or something. Okay, we'll be. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's heading, just burning its way up to the apocalypse. You've seen it all before. I just wanted to make it look pretty this time. So we go there you go. KSC down there. It's just coasting out of the atmosphere. I don't care what people say, never be afraid to coast. Some people say, oh, you shouldn't coast. I'm thinking, bollocks. If it suits, do it. Oh, everyone's got an opinion in this game. It's bloody awful sometimes, the comments. It's Kerbal, do whatever you want. Flying cars, I don't care. Flying buses. You know? As long as it flies and gets to orbit, that's all you care about. I don't care if I say 50 meters per second delta V. Who cares? As long as you're paying for fuel or anything. Yeah, I don't know if I do a successful dock. It's gone into orbit. I don't know if I'll get a I don't know if I'll get any signs for that. But anyway, let's find out. Can't remember. Okay. Yeah, the orbit's not as good. That's because we dropped to a stage that burnt slower, so we're already well past the maneuver node. So it's a little, you can see there's a difference there. The further away you burn from the maneuver node, the more imprecise, the more you're going to overshoot your calculations somehow. The next I'm going to rewrite this launch program, and it's not going to use maneuver nodes the next time. I'm going to do all it by pure mathematics. I wanted to do it using a maneuver node this time because I wanted to understand the code, but My next attempt's going to be pure mathematics, no maneuver nodes. Well, when I say mathematics, my mathematics, not the inbuilt Kerbal Space Program mathematics. I'll still use their orbit and all that though, because that is their track. You can't assume, no, I'm going to do my own track. It'll never work. You still got to use their track, but anyway, I digress. Don't worry about it. Okay, so let's just get rid of this thing. I don't need this anymore, so shut it down. Close it. Now we need our second. I'll just put. Yeah, I better just take a save. All right. Now we need our second ship. We'll just leave it in that orbit. That's fine. We need to go. Oh, this. I'll do that. I'll do that later. I think there is something I need to do. Yeah. Just go back to the Space Center. Get ready to launch another one. Okay. And it's giving us Jeb again. Alright. Okay, I'll just leave it there. So what we want to do, what you've got to do now, I hate that focus change. If that's in focus, then nothing else works. You gotta, it's its own little thing. So you gotta remember to click back into focus again. I just find that profoundly irritating for some reason. A quick save. See, this is technically an intercept because we want to dock the two, so we might as well try to get them as close together as possible up front. They will. See, he's already gone part way around the planet, so let's just kind of do it roughly. I'm not going to try to calculate this. Let's see how close we can get them. Probably just where it crosses the coast would be close enough. I'll just forward it a bit more. You're building a station. If you're going to build a space station, you will get very good at this. Trust me. If you're going to launch 20 sections, you'll get very good at doing what I'm just doing. Trust me on this one. LA. Alrighty. It comes up very quickly. Don't know if we probably it won't let us. No, it won't. It might let us some. You might even see it. Perhaps. Actually, this might. There it goes. This might work. Yeah, there we go. So if we can see it. There it is. Woohoo! I'm coming for you. I'm coming. Crossing the sun. See, if we tightened it just perfectly, they'd practically come up beside each other, but it takes you a while to set it up, so can't be bothered. We'll match their orbits later. That takes it off. That one. How are we going? Yeah, it's coming up nicely. Oh, there's our closest approach. Separation 155 kilometers. Oh, that's okay. That's probably the closest approach there. Oh. About what I expected. Once it does its circularization, it'll catch up some. Oh, that's it there too. The pink one. That's the intercept. If you're new to this game. Oh! Might appear again. Oh, it's behind us. No, I don't think so. Maybe we're not that close. Can't see it. It might have. You might have removed the targeting. Oh no, it's still there. It's still there. It might be just. It might be. Oh, I thought it would be a bit closer than that. Not to worry. Not to worry. Just shut that down. And shut that one off. We don't need it anymore. Just not for now. Quick save. Oh yeah, yeah. I thought I would have done a better job than that, but not to worry. Not to worry. 190. So as it stands, if they ever meet, this'll take forever because they're practically in the same orbit. So I better just do a save game here. I'll just call it docking circular orbit. How are we going for time? 5 more minutes. Well, now you want to get them a lot closer. The way you do that is you usually, because they're too far apart for the docking systems to cope, you usually try to want to get them to within, say, 500 meters of each other. Then you take over using the docking systems. Now if I get a bit lazy, I can try MechJeb. Gives us a couple of different ways of doing it. It actually does have a rendezvous planner, but it's not unlocked in my game yet. I think you can get a bit closer with one of these other functions. Match planes of target, match velocities of target. I think that sometimes that works if they're close. At closest approach to target. That's what it says. Holy cow, no, that's obviously a terrible solution. Bad idea. Remove that node. What else have we got here? Fine tune. I don't know. 180? Nah, that looks pretty awful too. It's gonna work, but it's you know, it's throwing one of them in a kind of into a bit of an elliptical orbit. So if you miss, you're gonna be passing each other pretty quickly. You wanna where your intercept is, you want it to be as slow as you can possibly get it. I mean, we've got enough fuel to do that one, so let's do it the traditional way. What we do, so if you have a look, okay, that's Jeb. What we'll normally do, probably switch to, that's Val. So this I know which capsule I'm dealing with because of the pictures. Alright. So what we'd do is we'd put Val into a slightly higher orbit, and we try to make it nice and circular, because that one, the orbit they're on now, is pretty reasonably circular. So we'll just raise her orbit, say 5 kilometers. That should do it. 10's probably a bit closer. Let me think. That will get them within 5 kilometers of each other. The other way of doing it is to put. Actually, I might do it a little bit differently. I'll just raise. Yeah. I'll just raise her apoapse about 5 kilometers. That way, she'll be in an elliptical orbit, but it will probably intersect the old orbit in a few spots. Because the thing is, if you put it into a circular orbit, say, have one at 100 and another at 105, sure, the one at 100 will catch up to the 105 one, but they're still going to be 5 kilometers apart, which is still a lot. You still got to do something. You still have to get a bit closer. So I tend to, but if you think about it, if you've got an elliptical orbit, one that's a bit more elliptical than the other one and in the same plane, it will actually cross over the orbit somewhere. You might have to go a few times around the planet to pick up one of the closest approaches, but so yeah, I've got a couple more minutes. We'll just do that. We'll raise the apoapse 5 kilometers at the actually, we come to think of it, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just want to distort her orbit compared to it, and I'd rather raise a part of the orbit than the lower part of the orbit, because if you start fiddling around like that, you can end up back in the atmosphere. So we'll do that, and I'll be lazy and I'll use MechJeb. So just go to change apoapse. Currently it's one. We'll change it to 110. See how this works out. It doesn't always work out, but you know. Change it at the periapse. So that's only a 4 meter per second change anyway, and it will do all the work for us. Okay. But if you're new, I recommend you do this manually. Learn how to do it first before you rely on MechJeb, because if you don't understand what MechJeb is doing, it will mess you up badly. That's only 4 meters per second to raise the orbit. That's amazing, isn't it? I'm just trying to get something done in half an hour, basically, that I can say, yep, see you next episode. Now, how did we go? I wonder who would be best to make the target. Make this one the target. Oh, okay, this one the target. How do we go? Did we get anything good out of that? Not really. Okay, let's switch over and try it the other way around. See if that's a bit better. Oh, okay. It's has it put the target on for us automatically? Oh, I didn't realise that. Huh. Okay. And they're probably symmetrical anyway. Alright, on that note, I'll just finish up here, and then I'll think about it for 5 minutes and see if I actually made the correct decision or not. So catch you next episode.